Hi, this is Renee with Rock Off Photography Music Magazine. Today I got with me vocalist Richie Cavalera, vocals for INCITE. And I got some exciting things coming up this year, starting off with a banger.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for talking. Thanks for rapping. All is good, man.
Excellent. And talking about exciting things, you have your new album, Built to Destroy, coming out on the 25th. How excited are you with this, starting off the new year, just right?
Oh, man. Every day that's getting closer to it, I'm just like, I feel the butterflies and the excitement and, just been celebrating, smoking extra joints for this moment. And it's just cool, man, to have everything kind of line up right, to have the album coming out and the tour start that same day. It just, you don't get that lucky, man. It takes a lot of years to have things line up. So we're stoked, man. Hella fired up.
Yeah, and y'all have put in the years. Y'all been around a little close to 15 years already.
Oh yeah, man, and 10 years almost since our first album came out. We've been grinding, man. There's no quitting this band. We feel like we're just starting to create the music that we've always wanted to. So 5 albums in, it's fucking killer to still have this creative juice and determination to just keep doing better.
Yeah, and that's awesome to say. So, with that, would you say that this album now kind of represents the vision that y'all have had, all these years to where we're at the sound that we've always wanted?
Oh, without question. If this could be my debut album all over again, I'd be in heaven because, like you said, it's been consistency now with the lineup for the last 3 records. It's, the vibe has been there. The time has been there to, have the proper, experience to write and record these albums now, man. It's just like, to have the solos we have now and everything just, oh, man, it's like the first album where I've finished it and I'm like, all right, we ain't got to fix nothing. We didn't fuck nothing up. It's right. It's right. It's the album we should have made, So I'm stoked, man, for people to get to check it out.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I can feel the energy and the excitement that you have with this with your new baby. It's like here you are, world. Take it and kind of choke on it, and this is what you deserve.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for everyone, but this one just has something special. Like I said, just all that stuff that's come together. It's kick ass.
That's awesome. So for this recording, what did y'all do different this time around? I mean, did y'all already have kind of songs pre-arranged, or you just came in as like we have this idea and this is what we're gonna build off of?
The big thing from the previous other 4 albums to this one was Drew, our guitar player. This is the first album where he was really allowed to write all the demo songs and get everything going. For every other album, it was like, we had a writer and he would kind of, send pieces and we would just kind of build songs. So it never had that implementation of structure and of full vibe of writing a complete song. And so when Drew sat down and, he presented the demos to us, we were just thrilled because everything you heard was in a full-length song. It was, parts were where they needed to be. So for us, it was more about diving in and, just making it better, take things that he may have repeated or didn't notice that, could have just been killer. And, that was, to me, the biggest thing that made this record different from the last was, the whole writing process. And then being in the studio, normally they're like, hurry up, you got 2 weeks, get it done.
Right.
And this time it was just like, kick back, breathe it in, get the things done that you need to get done. And, I think now we see the results, and I think we kind of, we learned from it all, and that's what music is, a constant learning experience. You never have shit dialed in.
Right. And that seems to be, from other people that I've talked to where it's always to where when they can take time and kind of mold the album the way they want it, that's where they produce, like they feel that that's their best work to date.
Oh, without question, man, because music is something that is organic, and if you're rushing it, you're just not going to have the same feel or the same vibe. And, unfortunately, I think that's hurt a lot of bands, and we were one of them. I think this day and age, it's all about shitting out as much stuff as you can without worrying about quality. And
right.
For us, it was like, man, this is number 5. Like, let's have quality be the most important thing, because you can shit out a million records that are whatever, but, or you make one great one or one killer one, you know, it changes the whole situation for the future. So
Right.
we definitely put the time into this bad boy.
Yeah. Excellent. So when y'all were writing and talking about, this is your fifth album, how is it that you're kind of able to still keep things inside exciting and not get repetitive? Was it just taking your time with it?
Oh man, that was a pain in the ass. You know, as far as from my standpoint of, you know, lyrically, I think Drew, you know, he was able to distinguish a lot of his sound, you know, because he hasn't been in the band the whole time. He hadn't written all these past records. So for him, it was about, all right, I've played these songs for this long and I have the influence of that built into me plus my other stuff. So I think it came good to him. But for me, it was huge because, you know, like you said, I had 4 other albums of lyrical topics and, you know, songs that I had written. So I really focused, man, on each song and, you know, going back through the catalog, listening, making sure things weren't repeating, and just, you know, I think it had a sense of me growing up, though. You know, a lot of those earlier albums, you know, I was young, pissed off kid, you know, and now I'm
Right.
33. I'm still pissed off, but now I can just articulate that in a more grown-up sense. So for me, writing this record, it was a challenge, man. But I think if you're not pushing yourself in music, you know, more than anything, or, you know, you're just staying stagnant. So I wanted to push it in every realm with this and make it an Insight record, but be next level.
Right. And you kind of brought up the topic too about writing the lyrics. Do you find it kind of, almost, because of the chaotic platform that we have this world, that there's a lot of inspiration to get from and kind of be, like you said, be pissed off about?
Yeah, but, you know, what's crazy is looking back through my catalog, you know, it's kind of been that way ever since I've started this band. You know, I mean, we started the band in George Bush. You know, people forget how shitty things were then. And, you know, that was just, you know, 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
people's memories are so short. So for us, it was, you know, like the Slaughter record, that was a lot of, you know, wars were going on all over the world. And, you know, it felt like it was the fucking end. And, you know, I think it feels that same way now. So
Right.
that's kind of been the one consistency through all these albums, like, you know, the All Out War to the Oppression and Up in Hell. It just kind of, it's all you know, an experience of the time that we're all in. And I think every record's been able to relate very well to that, to where people can, you know, listen and be like, damn, you know, I feel that same way. I'm fucking pissed off, or, you know, I'm upset about, you know, things I did in my past, and, you know, I was a piece of shit maybe, or, you know, just whatever it could have been. And that was big for me on this record, to always feed off of what I see and what's going on in the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then that kind of brings us to, I mean, talk about like there's a general theme to all these albums, and even the titles to your songs, like your newest single is called "Poisoned by Power."
Yeah, that song, you know, it's about, yeah, exactly that. Just powerful people fucking you off. You know, I think me and Chris, you know, who was the guest on that from 6 Feet Under Cannibal Corpse, you know, we've had a crazy start in this business with our bands, you know, kind of fucking us over and just kind of literally being poisoned by power. So for us, it was a cool topic to speak about. And I think, you know, the whole world's kind of got this poisoned by greed and kind of thing going on right now, which, you know, really sucks. And, you know, that's what our next single is about. It's called Resistance, and that just kind of touches on the fact of the inequality in this country and the world in general. You know, it's just getting fucked up. And, you know, like I said, I think each album's just kind of touched on different situations going on in the world at the time. And, you know, unfortunately for us, you know, my whole life's been living in crazy fucking times, it seems like.
Right. And how did you? I mean, you kind of go back far with Chris Barnes. How did you get him to contribute to this? Did you kind of come to us like, look, we got this song. We want you to be guest vocals on this, or how did that come about?
You know, him and Kirk, you know, from Crowbar, they were just killer dudes, man. You know, they brought our band out on tour, and, you know, for guys like them that have been in this business for as long as they have, they could be assholes and they could be, recluse and not hang out, but that's like the complete opposite of who those people are. And me and Chris get along really good because we like to smoke weed and talk about conspiracy theories and just crazy shit going on in the planet and the world. So me and him, we relate a lot. So when we were writing these songs, I think him and Kirk were just kind of the perfect guests for the tracks that we had. And for us, we've always wanted guests to be friends of the band, not just some dude because he's got a big name or whatever the hell it is. Because it adds more vibe. I think they care about it a little more. And the parts those guys did, those are two of my favorite songs on this album. So I'm definitely fired up on it.
That's awesome. So would you say with these singles that's released so far, 3 now with your newest one, is that a good representation of like the whole album, or is there still some surprises that people are not really ready for or kind of unaware of?
Oh, dude, we could have put out, I think, truly 11 singles of all 11 songs. We sat back when we were kind of discussing this, and the label kind of is a big part in deciding that. And we had 6 songs that were truly you could have made an argument for any of them to be singles. So we're going to end up putting out 4 about before the record even comes out. So that's just crazy, man. It makes you feel good. And there's, like I said, there's 3 more songs at least that people haven't heard that could have easily been monster videos and singles and all that. So it's an exciting record, man. It does not let up, and I don't think it gets boring. That's one thing that I dug about it mostly. I think I found myself on the past records kind of skipping a couple songs, and with this one I listened straight through and started again. Even listen to songs on repeat, man. It's killer.
Yeah, and that's a good thing too. Like you mentioned, which speaks a lot about how you feel about this album and how excited you are to where, I mean, you feel that it's a solid record through and through, and then there's nothing to skip about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a cliche thing. Oh, it's our heaviest album, it's our best album, or whatever it may be. But to us, we really feel that. It's not just like, oh, let's go say that because it's what every other band says.
Right.
We will, just to prove how much we love this, we're on our tour that we're starting. We have a 9-song set list, and 5 of the 9 songs are going to be new. So, we're thrilled about this album, and we can't wait for people to fucking hear it all.
Yeah, and which brings up, y'all are starting the new tour on the 25th with Soulfly and Cataclysm. How excited you are to get back on the road?
Oh, dude, I mean, we haven't been off the road for very long. I've literally only been home for about a month.
Oh, yeah.
My wife's ready to kill me, but, it's what you got to do in this age. And,
right.
Having it start on a new album cycle is always exciting because, like I say, we're going to be playing 5 new songs that have really never been played, and just all these exciting things, new additives to the show to make it a little more exciting, and just growing from there. So to have our first couple weeks album sales be counted with these shows, it's going to be a very killer time for this band, and we're stoked to be on tour with 2 powerhouses in Cataclysm and Soulfly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I'm trying to make my way up there on the 27th. You're kind of coming close. I just got to work to get myself up there, man.
It's gonna be a raging show, man. I believe it's at Come and Take It Live, right?
Yeah, at Emos. Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to work out some little issues to get up there. So try to make it. I'd be excited for that.
It's gonna be a ripper.
Oh yeah. So on this current tour cycle, I mean, this one it's only, I think it's about a month. But is there any cities or planned tours that you're going to be hitting some places you haven't before that you're excited to visit?
It's not a specific city. I think on this one coming up with Soulfly, we've played all these cities pretty relentlessly. So that it's always cool though to go back to other places because you're starting to see the growing fan base. And the big thing for us coming this year that's new and something we've been working at for 15 years is playing. We landed a huge European festival. They have those massive festivals over there every year. We landed on the Bloodstock Festival. It's going to be 20,000+ metalheads at one time, just going ape shit, man. And we've dreamed what our songs could do a show like this. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the big exciting thing that we have, circled on the calendar above all else.
Right. It's strange how some European festivals are just like these huge, massive things to where everybody makes wants to make that trip to get there. And I mean, and for a band, you're right, playing in front of 20,000 people. I mean, that's gonna be insane.
Yeah, and they're just open to their music. They have, it'll go from Slipknot to Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
And people, they'll watch both bands and they'll go just as crazy for both of them. And with America, you don't get that. You're seeing all these huge festivals, but it's just literally just radio rock. Five Finger Death Punch, Godsmack.
Yeah.
The same things every year, just reversed. So for us, we'd love to play on those and get that shit going, but until they kind of break out and let more metal onto it, we're going to try to just stick to Europe's festivals and all that kind of big shit, because they just know what's going on over there.
Yeah, and I don't understand how, like you mentioned, exactly here they don't see that. It's like, look, there's thousands and thousands of people that go to these festivals, and there is no reason to not do it here.
They're just the big scared thing of metal. They just don't think it's big. But you know what? Slayer's out there right now with four of the biggest bands in metal, and they're packing 20,000 people a night. So I think it's doable. People just don't want to do it because it's easier to have Godsmack and Rob Zombie every year.
Right, because they know people are going to show up and pay for it.
Yep, exactly. And that's one thing with those bands I've never understood, is how they get people to just constantly, see them 55 times in 10 years. It's just amazing what music can do, man. It's just a powerful thing in our lives.
Yeah. And, which is great that music can do that. I mean, same thing for your fans. They're coming out and making sure that they support you.
Man.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of, and just, music's a special thing for all of us.
Yeah. So, speaking about touring, what is for you, your personal, if you have a favorite part about being on tour and playing live?
I think that right there, man, playing live, that is a feeling that I've never been able to replicate, man, no matter what. I've climbed mountains, I've had gambling addictions, I've partied my ass off, and that just never touched on what that feeling of going on stage does. It's just, it's incredible, man. And, being able to be in a van, just living, I think when you're on a tour for a month or whatever it is, you don't think about bills. You don't think about the news. You don't think about politics. You don't think about problems that you always do at home, It's just like you're in this world for a month and, nothing matters. And that's just, it's such a cool way of life. I love it.
Yeah. It's like our point is to get from this city to the next city to play our next gig.
Yeah, and you got other things to worry about, like, is the van going to run? And, how many people are going to be there? Are we going to make enough money to even get to the next city? It's just, it's such an adventure, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. So for anybody, be listening to this interview, for any new bands, what kind of advice would you give them that, that are wanting to tour and possibly make music as a career?
Rule number one, man, don't stop. I think a lot of people in this day and age, with everything that's bombarded at us, they expect overnight to be huge. They look online and think all these bands just all of a sudden woke up one day and were big. It's like, no way, dude. Every band that is big, or any artist, they've went through 10 years, 15 years of grinding, man.
Right.
From being told they suck to, whatever in between. So that's one thing I always find. And a lot of bands that start out that are great just can't continue, man. Too many problems get in the way. And I think that just comes from having patience. That's something you have to have. Things don't happen overnight. It's a constant grind. And, with social media and everything these kids have, I mean, the world is so much at their hands, to make good music and grind out hard. They have a chance to really do it.
Yeah. Which is interesting, like you mentioned, the day and age that we have now, unfortunately, people fall into where this instant gratification that you're right, they don't have the patience to kind of persevere and keep at it.
Exactly, man. You know, like I say, you see some of these bands that, you know, people are freaking out about, and man, they're gone in 2 days because they just, you know, thought about some dumb shit or just didn't want to wait a couple weeks for things to happen. You know, it's just a crazy deal.
Awesome. So we pretty much come to our end of our interview. Any last words for fans of what they can expect this year from Incite?
Yeah, a bunch of kick-ass metal.
Hell yeah.
Go support any artist, no matter what it is. Especially go buy our new album, Built to Destroy, January 25th. And come check us out on tour and come party at the merch booth with us.
Excellent, man. I appreciate your time, and I wish you the best on this tour and this album.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, man, for spreading the word and keep it heavy.
All right.